All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody for making time to be here. I just wanted to really quick run through some stuff just as we get headed into a new school year. We're welcoming some new parents into the youth family, and so there's some stuff that they might not be aware of, things like that, as well as just some funky things that are taking place this year. So, first things first, I wanted to start off by recapping the mission and vision of what we do here, especially at C3 Youth. The mission of Crossbridge Community Church is transforming lives by helping people take next steps. And within that, then, if you've been in what used to be the youth room, or if you've seen any of the youth merch, and you've seen our mission and vision is to love God, love people, and be real. And so within the realm of transforming lives, by helping people take next steps, the way we do that is by creating a community and an environment in which those are the expectations, is that we're going to love God, we're going to love people, whether that's the other person in the room or the people that aren't here that need to experience love, and then we're going to be real about the crap that we deal with and the things that we're struggling with, or the mistakes that we've made, that this is a community where you're not going to be judged for that, you're not going to be ridiculed or looked down on for the things that you have experienced or that you've walked through. So that is the mission and vision of C3 Youth. As far as kind of our ministry model, things have changed up recently. Last time we had a parent meeting, we talked about our decision to do away with our Sunday morning youth programming, which by doing so, we've had some amazing things happen. I mean, if you were in service this morning, to see Cooper Wall up playing bass in the band is awesome, and we have other students that are musically gifted that have started to play around with the idea of also joining the band. So I would love to see a time where every week we have a student on stage doing something. And we had a student running camera, Audrey, killing it back here running camera, getting involved in tech. Like, there are all these different ways that we can have students now be involved in what the church is doing, because they're not sitting over in the youth room. And also just this morning, as I looked around during worship and seeing students that were fully worshiping, hands raised, just experiencing Christ in the moment is really cool. And so we really feel confirmed in that decision to move away from Sunday mornings, and our Sunday night programming we've poured all of our energy into it, and it's been really good. So our Sunday nights, traditionally what our Sunday night looks like is it's from 6 to 8 p.m., from 6 p.m. until 6:45-ish. Is just community time. Depends kind of on what the weather's doing, on what that looks like. When it's warm out, you can find pretty much all of the middle school boys over in the field next to the hub playing wiffle ball or something. People are outside throwing frisbees around, all kinds of stuff when the weather's warm. We do have a space in the hub always for people who are less wanting to be in the middle of the craziness and just want to take some time to draw, or we have coloring sheets and craft stuff, and just a quieter place where they can, if that's more the way they lean, then they can go do that. Once weather gets uncooperative and it gets cold and wet out at youth time, then we're in here. We play Foursquare on the floor back there. We've kind of mangled Brad's pickleball court, but he allowed us to do that. So, or we have an Xbox over the other building, all kinds of stuff. So we have our community time until about 6:45, and then we come in here. We have a time of worship, usually just one or two songs that we sing right now, where we just use lyric videos on the screen. Hopefully one day we can get to a point where we have enough students that we can put together a worship band of students and leaders to actually have live worship on Sunday nights. And then after worship, we have a time of teaching, whether it's me or Jordan or somebody else that will give a 15 to 20 minute message, and then the rest of the time is spent in their small groups discussing, processing through the message that they just heard. And so they usually get about 40 to 45 minutes of small group time to then talk through. So that's what our normal Sunday nights look like. Now, forget everything I just said because August doesn't look anything like that. August is when we have Olympiad, and so that'll be coming up just, that's kind of our kickoff for returning to Sunday nights. We took July off to give our volunteers a break, to give students a break, to give you a break of having to drive your kids all over the place, or at least one less place. I know it gives opportunity for vacations and things like that, so we took July off, and now we're into when August rolls around. That's kind of our kickoff back to Sunday nights with Olympiad, which is a student favorite event that we do every year, where those 4 Sundays in August, the students are split into 4 teams, and they compete in silly games, minute-to-win-it style games, and other stuff to earn points. And then at the end of the month, whichever team has the highest points wins the trophy. And one added wrinkle that we've added this year, because they're always in 4 different team colors, is that the winning team's color then determines what the D-Now hoodie will look like when D-Now rolls around. So it's one little extra bragging right. When you look at the D-Now hoodie for that year and you see the color, you know who won Olympiad. So it's just a fun little thing. And it happened by accident last year. The orange team won Olympiad, and I'd already designed the D-Now hoodie, and it was orange. And so I was like, well, that was cool. We're going to do that from now on. So registration for Olympiad has officially opened. The form is up online. You can do it on the app if you have the app downloaded. If you don't have the app downloaded, download the app and then go do it. Or you can go to the youth website, the youth page on the website, and go to it that way. Or if you follow us on Instagram, the youth on Instagram, in our bio, there's a link that also goes to Olympiad registration. On the app, I believe there's a picture. When I looked at it, it looked kind of funky, so I might have to figure it out. With all of the teams, our team leaders drafted their teams based on our current roster of students. So your student has already, whether they've registered or not, has already been drafted onto a team for Olympiad. And so you'll want to look at that, because whatever color they are, the more they wear, the harder they go with their team color for spirit wear, the more points their team gets. So if they're on the red team, they need to come decked out head to toe in red stuff, and they'll get more points for their team. So that is on the app, but it's really tiny. I don't know why. Just blame Jordan. He's the one who uploaded it, so we'll say it was his fault. But I'll get that fixed so that your student can see what team they are on. And if you don't see your student's name, then reach out to me and I will get them on a team. I used the Olympiad roster from last year and then plugged in some of the names that I know have joined since then, and the incoming 6th graders, but I'm not perfect and I miss things. So hopefully I got everybody on there. But if I didn't, I will be happy to get them on a team. So that is Olympiad. Are there any questions about Olympiad before I move on? Alrighty. And then we get into September, when things go back to normal, quote unquote, as what I said, our normal model of community time, worship, teaching, small group. On September 15th, that is a Sunday. So the very first Sunday of September is September 1st, and that is Labor Day weekend. So we will not have youth that week. We always take Labor Day off to give our volunteers an opportunity to spend that holiday however they want to with their families. And also once again, for you guys, if you want to travel go to the lake for Labor Day or whatever, you don't have to stress about figuring out youth. So no youth on September 1st, and then on the 8th we'll have a kind of fall kickoff night. And then on the 15th, that Sunday, right after church, we are going to have a youth event that's going to run all day on that Sunday. Because we are not going to Discover in November, for reasons I will talk about here in a minute, we wanted to fill that void with some kind of fall event. So after church on that Sunday, we will have everybody stick around. We'll do lunch together, and then have a few hours of fun, crazy event of some kind. I'm leaning in two different directions. I haven't decided which. Either a glow-in-the-dark party in here or a color powder war thing outside, which I know you would love to pick up in your cars that evening. So they'll do that, and then that will run right into youth that evening, and then they'll still get their teaching and spiritual time in the evening. But we just wanted to kind of fill the day with a fun event to take the place of Discover, since we are not doing that. The reason we are not is, one, we have felt over the last few years, I've only done it once, but even before that, Trevor was feeling that the quality of the event had gone down as the cost of the event had gone up, and it's gotten to a point where the amount that you have to pay for your student to go on this event is not worth what they are doing while we're there. Like this last year, I think all of the leaders that were there will attest to our favorite things that happened on the trip were the things that we did as a group, not anything that the conference was doing. So the plan is to replace that with some different kind of conference trip in the future, but the added wrinkle is that the first week of October my wife is having a baby. So scheduling things in late October, November is going to be tricky with a 1-month-old baby. I don't want to field the angry calls from my wife when I leave her alone with a newborn. So I'm sure there are plenty of people who would volunteer to hang out with a newborn baby, but yeah, so this year is kind of different, but then going forward, our plan is to find a different fall conference to take the place of Discover. This year, we're just doing this event as a placeholder so that we can do something fun in place of that. So, speaking of baby, really quick, I wanted to run through what that will look like as far as my paternity leave, taking a month off because of that. So, right now, if everything goes to plan, the due date for the baby is October 8th. Babies do what they want to do, so who knows when that will actually happen, but that is the due date, and so right now, my paternity leave will be the first, the second, third, and fourth week of October. The first week, October 6th, that first Sunday, there's not going to be youth anyways because it is ordination Sunday, and if we have staff members that are getting ordained, then all of the staff goes down to support and everything anyways. So, and Michael is getting ordained this year, so we will not have youth that evening because of that. And then the second 2 weeks, the 13th and the 27th, or the 13th and the 20th of October, everything will be normal as far as scheduling and what everything looks like. We'll have Jordan is teaching one of those weeks, and Trevor will be teaching one of those weeks while I am not here. And they'll be teaching we'll do a short 2-week series on emotions and emotional health and understanding what your emotions are telling you and things like that. So they will teach on that on the 13th and 20th, and then on the 27th, just before Halloween, we'll have a youth Halloween party here, normal time, 6 to 8 p.m., and I will be back for that. That'll be like my first Sunday back from paternity leave. So during that month, if you have questions that come up about anything, depending on what it is, you can shoot an email to me, and I will get back to it when I get back from leave. If it's something like not super pressing, obviously, if it's something that you need an answer about, like I need to know what's happening this week, or I have a question about something that's happening this week while I'm gone, then you can email Jordan, call Jordan, and he will be happy to answer those kinds of questions for you. Does anybody have any other questions about my paternity leave? I'm hoping that everything goes smoothly there. I'm trusting that Jordan won't burn the place down while I'm gone. Awesome. Last couple things then are more of my desire to stress communication as much as possible, and also just provide some more avenues for you. So once again, up on the screen, you have my cell phone number and my email. So if you don't have those, save those. That way, if there's ever anything that you need contact-wise, you know how to get a hold of me. I try to be as quick on the response as I possibly can. If you text me, I'll probably get back to you right away. If you email me, I don't usually see it until the next time I'm in the office. But yeah, so save those. If you do not receive our youth emails, is there anybody in here that doesn't receive our youth emails, like when I send them out? Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, great. Then shoot me an email with your email address. I guess I have your email address, so I'll get it plugged in, and then you'll start getting those from me. So my plan is I try to be pretty regular with the emails, at least every other week, if not more, depending on if it's a hectic, crazy season or not. A lot of things to update you on. I will, at the end of every month, have an email that goes out with a short synopsis of what the next month's teaching series is on. We run month to month on the series that we teach, and so at the end of August, then I will send out, here's what the series is for September, here's what we're talking about, kind of a breakdown, so that you guys are always informed on what it is that your students are learning, and that way you can carry on conversations at home with them about the things that they're learning, but also if you have questions on what it is we're teaching, specifically, like what are you teaching about that thing, then that's an opportunity for you to ask that. So one other thing is that we have created a space for you on the app and once again on the website where you can go on and it will allow you to upload pictures. So please, 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 when you get schedules for if your child plays sports or if they're in choir or band or musicals or plays or whatever it is that they do, upload those on that, go to that spot on the app and on the website and upload those schedules so that myself and our leaders can go support. I really want to be at as many games as possible for your students, and our leaders want to be at as many games as possible for your students, but we can't go if we don't know when they are. So please go on and do that because we want to show our support because I know that it means a lot both to you as parents and it means a lot to your students to see their leaders there. So we want to do that. So please utilize that. There is no thing too small if it's just a one-off play or something that there are times where you're going to have to do it as a parent because your student doesn't think that the thing is important enough, but we think it's important. So please upload those so that we can be there. I think that is everything that I have. I'm going to open it up really quick if there's any questions that anybody has, and then I'll give you some time where you can talk with leaders. So are there any questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is black. Yeah. What was that? Does the Olympiad end at 8 o'clock as well? Yes. Yeah, Olympiad runs the same time as our normal youth. It's 6 to 8 p.m. Also, one thing I forgot to mention when I talked about registering for Olympiad is there is a cost to it. It's only $15 that basically pays for, they get a t-shirt in the team color, whatever team they're on. They get a t-shirt in that team color, and the $15 basically just covers the shirt. So, but you can pay that when you register, or there's an option when you register, either to pay online or you can drop down and it'll say pay later if you just want to bring cash on the first week or whatever. That works as well. So, any other questions? All right. Well, then one thing that